Hey guys, my name is Ryan, and today we're doing something a little bit different. We are going to be doing a two-handed solo game. So I'll be playing as both Green and Serpent. Now, normally when you are playing with one of these spirits, they will provide you a lot of support in the early game, and they will set you up for success. But when both of them are supports, they're going to be feeding off each other a lot. Neither of them really have the capacity to win with just their innates and just their starting cards, but both of them do very well growing into growing into mages over the course of the game. In the early game, though, they both have an innate that can kill a town at range 0, so they are not helpless in the beginning of the game. We're going to be going against France 4. France is going to be a much harder challenge for these guys, particularly with the 7 towns restriction. They need to stay on top of killing the towns, or else it will just snowball downwards. So without further ado, let's get into it. Alright, going into the sands. So one of the things whenever I'm playing as Serpent that I always try and pay attention to is for really high value lands to put my Elemental Aegis. And if we take a look at our these boards, I just kind of picked random ones, but for the mountains and the sands both have a spot where you can defend 3 of the 4 lands with a single Elemental Aegis. And so the fact that we're opening up with the sands means that all of a sudden we really don't need to work so hard in order to pull this thing off. Now, if Green can find a way to come down and defend this sands number 6, then we will be in a great place. And I think it'll be possible if they set themselves up in wetlands number 5. Or possibly mountain number 7. Mountain number 7 would actually be a little bit better, so that way you could, get the adjacent defend on half the board. So we will have Green grow over here, and we can use grow 3 to go into the land number 7 and overgrow in a night to get our sacred site. And then we're just going to pick up a minor. Defend 4 does things quite nicely, but we really want to try and hit our innates, and so Inflame the Fires of Life, Moon, and the Grass does a great job for us. Teeming Rivers being able to remove Blight is also pretty relevant. Adding Beast is always really nice as well, but I'm going to go for the offensive Moon as opposed for the defensive Water to get started. Okay, and over here for Serpent, let's start by gaining a power card. Okay, when picking a power card, try and pick one that does good for your elements. The element you use the most of is Earth, so that would lean us towards Quicken the Earth Struggle. But the only element that you really need that you don't gain off of all the elements in your track is Grass. And so these 2 cards here with Grass on them are both very exciting as well. Lure of the Unknown has a fire and a moon and a grass, so it has 3 good elements. Call to Tend only has the water, but I'm going to take Call to Tend here because it has Dahan movement. That's one thing that these guys don't really have a lot of. They have good defense, but between the 2 of them, they only have 1 Dahan movement card. So picking up a little bit more is definitely going to be useful for some Dahan and defend play. So we know we're going to want to put ourselves into mountain number 3. And we just need to prevent or keep all the lands at 4 or less damage on the Ravage. So we're going to push this town out by using that. Oh, and Snake needs to do stuff too. We know that we're going to be doing Absorb and Aegis on our next turn. But this turn, we kind of get a freebie. We very well could play Call to Tend and move some Dahan around such that we can, actually get value out of this Dahan and Defend play. And I think that's probably more valuable than Gift of Primordial Deeps. Okay, jungles. All right, so we're going to leave that guy there, obviously. And instead, well, we know that we're going to push that town out. I'm thinking I might just sacrifice a presence in the short term, and in the long term, actually do something about it. So here, right, do we want to kill a city or do we want to kill a town is really the question. And we're looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, okay, 5 of these 6 being built on this next turn. That's quite a lot. So I'm going to choose to take 1 less fear, but, make sure that we keep our town count down. Okay, Snake plays out pretty simply. We already know the cards that we're going to be playing, and we're already in a pretty decent spot for our defense. So, that is not a big thing to be concerned about. That will be hitting for 6, though, so we might not be able to defend that effectively. So I'm going to set ourselves up in the jungle number 3, just in case. And Gift of Constancy is a great card. Water, Earth, Grass is a 3 elements that we need for the presence growth. A little bit of blight removal is never a bad thing. Poison Dew is great. Being able to destroy lots of explorers can be particularly relevant against France. However, you kind of have to roll the dice on when you think you're going to be hitting a jungles or wetlands. So maybe like late in stage 2, when you know that like you could have like wetlands, jungle, or coastal. We could set it up for somewhere on this board, but that requires a lot of things to go right. Drought is always pretty high value against France because they're going to be putting lots of towns into a single land, so we know we're going to get value out of it. And Gift of Constancy is always a fantastic card. So really, every single card here is a great one to potentially choose. I think I'm going to go ahead with take Gift of Constancy. I think of all of them, it has the highest upside. If, we hit later in the game, we hit some big majors, we know that we're going to be wanting to play Gift of Constancy every single turn so that we can keep on reclaiming those majors and not having to actually hit the reclaim button. So it's possible we're not going to use it for a long time. We'll have to see how it all plays out. Okay, and green, we know that we're going to be putting a Defend 2 into this land here. So let us grow in. And we know we're probably going to sacrifice over here. So that's where I'll make a Sacred Site. And then we're going to overgrow. We will just need to play any water card. And then might as well just play the Gift of Proliferation. Okay, so we already have our Defend 2, so we're all good there. We do get a free element off of the Absorb Essence. We're not really going to be able to make use of it, but, it's cool to have. And then we will be giving another presence to Serpent, which means that, he has to play Absorb Essence more aggressively in the early game because he gets all of this free presence coming from green. But that's a great problem to have. It just means you're going to wake up faster. Hey, overgrow. Gift of Proliferation. Because Snake struggles to get presence into Blighted Lands, whenever you get the chance to do so, either off a Reclaim or off a Gift of Proliferation, it's always a nice thing to do. Because you might need it in the future, and then you won't have access to it. Okay, we're going to Absorb Essence. This land is looking like it's already taken care of by Snake, so I'm going to absorb this one. And, oh yeah, because we picked up the extra plant, we can just grab a moon here, and it'll give us another tick on this. I don't necessarily know. Maybe we'll just use it to kill off a city up here, but, or maybe we'll just use it to pick off a town. Like, we have choices. Each beast deals 2 damage. Alright, life just gets easy. Add a Dahan to a land with Dahan. These guys are already taken care of, and we want to protect ourselves against cultural assimilation. We will allow that build. And then we have to put that up. Just putting it in the land where we already have presence because we have a range 0 attack. Okay. So here we can do 3 damage and then plus 1 damage with stem. So we can pick off 2 towns here. We're looking pretty healthy on our town count, but it's not a bad thing to stay on top of. And heck, we have 4 damage, so you might as well use all of it. You get the same fear whether you go for 2 towns versus 1 city, and you couldn't even kill an explorer, right? Because these can only hit buildings. And then here, right, we can kill a town, push a town. So we can actually also take care of this land, and then we don't even need to worry about playing Aegis. We can just take a blight here, like we're healthy on our blight, and we can just take a little bit of time to scale into the next one. Okay, and we know that's going to be a threat in the soon, so we'll just put it in a place that is not being threatened. All right. So, since we have the luxury of not having to absorb Aegis this next turn, it might even be time to, provide a little support for green. Green might want to consider going for a major. Yeah, heck, let's just grab a major and see if there's any like small-sized major. Right, like a Savage Transformation is a nice small-sized major. It does perfectly match the Inflamed Fires of Life, so that's a really cool thing, right? If we could use that, we could take care of both of the explorers in a single land. Hit the double here, so that's a nice little combo. Obviously, Vengeance of the Dead is the same threshold, but this card's just worse in every way. The Defend Infinite doesn't really give us anything that we don't already have. Getting Corruption is way too expensive. Go Savage Transformation, and I am going to get rid of Stem. I think our defense is something that is going to be more heavily put on Snake's shoulders. Okay. And we're going into a wetland. So this will be the one that will get the Slaves Rebellion. Right? There'll be a Slaves Rebellion before that Ravage. So really, we don't really have any Dahan set up besides this guy right here. Right? That'll be a free pickup here, but if we could push 2 Dahan in there, that'd be pretty sweet, but I am just going to set us up right here. Just to have a sacred site in the middle of both boards. Okay, now over here on Snake's side, we could play Elemental or Absorb Essence just to give the 3rd animal element, but that seems like a waste of time to me. I think we're better off going for a power card, just playing like normal. Heck, we can even also go for a small major. We didn't get anything too small. Poison Land, it's a good card, right? Hitting for 7 is important because France hits for 8. with their stage 2 escalation, and then after they grow, that's going to hit for 8. So Poison Land, taking care of everything besides a single explorer, is pretty high value. It's also cheap, which makes it more replayable. So that's the one I'm going to go with. And I find that Gift of Flowing Power, at least with green, we don't need it so much, because green can do just fine with a smaller number of card plays. So that's what I'm going to get rid of. And we're probably going to play Poison Land plus Gift this turn. So it's a matter of where we want to poison the land. And I'm thinking we're most likely going to do it in this wetlands number 8. So let us go there. Hopefully Gift will give green something with an animal element, so that way they can just have their cake and eat it too. As far as the element that I'm going to gain, I'm probably going to go for fire. That'll kill a town, and then, push a town to fear, right? But we will just wait till we have more information. Nothing with an animal. Sad days. Well, then the second thing would be to look for grass. Just pick up an extra damage there. At which point, Rouse the Trees is a genuinely great card. And so I think that's what I'm going to go for. Yeah, some Dahan movement is cool, right? It'll set us up for like a Slaves Rebellion. But outside of that, I don't think it's so great. So by using Rouse, I'll be able to use my Innate to kill one town, Rouse to kill the other town. So that land will be solved. And then we can, tee ourselves up for a defend in this land. Yeah. I think it's pretty good. Okay, on each board, add a disease that we ignore. So wetlands doesn't gain much value. So in these situations, I like to just put them in lands with no invaders at all. Just so that way when it explores and then, they try to build, nothing happens. Oh, that's very exciting. Adding the Strife here. So it'll take a damage from the Slaves Rebellion and then 2 damage from the Dahanda and Ravage. That's pretty high value. And then over here, so that will die to the Slaves Rebellion, and then we can add another Strife to another land. There's really nowhere else to add a Strife of value, right? Like that doesn't do anything. Where's the allow build? Yep, allow that build. Okay, jungles with escalation. It's A-okay for me. Great. And now, so we'll just gain the fire, right? There's really no other thresholds we can hit. So we can take care of that town. Produce a little bit of fear. Clean up land number 8. It would have been blighting anyway, so the blighting being added doesn't matter. Alright, solve that wetlands. Push that into the disease land. Kill off the town. Let's see, we could Strife this land here with Inflame. That'll die to Slaves Rebellion. On this side, it's probably better to, we're just going to undo that, to do it to that city, just so that way it does not have to be defended. That leaves only one land that we have to do anything to. And actually that land we don't have to do anything to, right? We can just add the Strife there from the Slaves Rebellion, and then that land is solved too. So, with that in mind, now we can really get ourselves ahead. Savage Transformation, I'm just going to use it right here because we're kind of drowning there and we could use a little bit of help. Obviously, we're going to reclaim and we're just going to stick to miners for right now. No fast Dahan movement. That's really what I want to do, is see if we can push couple of these Dahan up in the fast phase, it'll just blow the game wide open. But as is, Shadows of the Burning Forest looks great to push some stuff out of these jungles right here. Nothing else seems particularly amazing. And I'm likely going to just sacrifice a presence in this land over here, so let's just get ourselves ready for it. Okay, Shadows of the Burning Forest. And we'll wait and see what Snake pulls. So, still want to see if we can find a fast Dahan movement. And we did not. That's okay. So what do we got here instead? Pushing a single Explorer is fine. Not insane against France, right? Because they explore 2 at a time. Gift of Living Energy is pretty nice, just giving energy, but with that +3, we're doing A-okay there. We don't have any expensive cards. Land of Haunts and Embers is just bad. But Call of the Han Ways I do really like. Because we have the moon off of our track, we're always going to be able to turn a town into a Dahan. And it'll be a great way to just stay ahead. Make sure that we don't drown underneath all the Dahan. And so, maybe we just go... Yeah, we'll just play that and Gift of Constancy because we don't need to do any defense this turn, right? Like, everything's taken care of. So, yeah, why not? We even have the Reclaim 1 if we want it. But adding the extra water seems to give us no marginal benefit. So let's just start Reclaiming 1. And that way we can go another turn without reclaiming again. So I'm going to put my presence up here. It's possible that later on I can, pick up the damage to assist with green to clean up all those buildings that'll be there. Let's see. I'll likely pick up an Earth just to pick up the 2 Fear. That's the only elemental threshold that we can hit. But as always, we'll wait. You never know what's going to happen. As for what green's going to do, certainly we're going to want to pick up another Moongrass card. So that way we can pick off a town. He's at 7. So that means if I were to accelerate him, then he would have to skip a growth in order to play Elemental Aegis. Maybe we just play Absorb Essence. What if we did Absorb Essence instead of Gift of Constancy? Right? That will get another one. That'll put us up to 8 available. So we'll be at 7 presents with 8 available. So we'll still be able to grow this next turn. Okay. Yeah, that's not bad. And then we just have to Absorb Essence again and probably just use our Defend in this land. Is that bad? No, seems fine to me. Seems just fine to me. Picks off a town, pushes a town. Sure. Right? And then we'll probably pick up an Earth. Earth would be able to kill a town, push a town. Grass would allow us to gain an energy. But Absorb Essence gives us plenty of energy as is. So I'm not concerned there. Okay, we'll take our water element. And I'm going to make a sacred site in the wetland. All right, hardest place for us to put stuff into. Let's make a sacred site there. Okay, Absorb Essence. This time I'm more certain that there's really no place to put really not a lot of value with any element. But we'll go for water just because, why not? Take that one, go water, and defend 2, why not? Okay, we're going here. And on this board, we don't really have a high value target. Probably just go here. Okay, killing off some explorers is nice. Adding Dahan to a jungle or a wetland. If we go here, it'll kill off everything. So that seems pretty nice to me. Herpes disease 2 to Han. None of these are super high value. So I'm going to go for this guy right here. Completely clears that land. And oh yeah, I have to do another one. We got 9 to go. So we can build 2 up, use it a Han to kill 2 back. We could get coastal. Yeah, so I'm going to ultimately just deny myself 1 fear by removing that 1 explorer. But it protects us in the case of getting coastal. And hootenanny. We'll just completely solve that land. I guess there's really no other targets, so we'll just take that guy. Okay, just put those in places where we're already dominant. All right. Let's see, we can do 2 damage. We can do another 2 damage here, so we could kill off the city. All right, that's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4. And then just push the town out, solve that land. That land probably going to have to wind up being a sacrifice. Yeah, we'll have to solve that one with a major, probably. Considering that we very well could have coastal hitting in the next 2 cards, we're going to want to deal with that pretty soon. But that does solve one of the lands, so let's oh, and that just, yeah, do that, and then it damages and pushes, so we don't even need to use the push in that land. We will send here. Why not? Yeah, if I send it to the Sands and then Sands came up, we'd have to take a Blight here. Whereas here, we at least have the choice. Having a choice is always just better. Okay, I don't think there's going to be anywhere to make value out of the 2nd damage, so that's that. And then... want to leave it there, right? And there. That's already been done. Right, so if I push this in, it'll turn into a bigger build. Is that a problem? Not necessarily. Call it a Han Ways. I'm actually going to use it over here in number... Well, if I use it in number 2, then we get a coastal, we're just screwed. Could use to pick off that town. Maybe I'll just use it right here in this town here. Yeah, I'll just push this in. And then just, you know, show dominance. Okay, so we can use green to defend 2 in this land. We still have 1 water card. We'll defend 2 there and we'll sacrifice here. So therefore, Snake can focus on his own game plan. Right, so we know that we're going to play Elemental Aegis again so that we can keep growing. And I'm inclined to go for another... Do I want to go for a major or try and look for a Blight Removal minor? I think I'm going to go for a major. Let's focus on winning as opposed to not losing. We're still healthy. So we're good for a little bit. Land Thrashers and Furious Pain is a great card. It's good elements for us. We get a free moon, we get a free earth from our tracks, and then we get a free any. So pretty much any other card that we play with this, we can threshold it. So I think that's the easy take. And Poison Land is nice, but we aren't going to need that pretty soon. We're about to wake up. So we're going to have plenty of energy. We don't need to play, you know, dangerous majors. Of course, it does have the nice combination where it, you know, increases Thrash's damage. So it is certainly worth considering. But I don't think that's necessary. So instead, we'll just go up here. Go for an Absorb Essence. And we'll play it like so. And then green, we know we're going to add a presence right here. And we're just going to protect ourselves. And I think we're also in a position just, start digging for a major. Start trying to win the game. And Vigor of a Breaking Dawn is very interesting. It does have the animal, right? So it, completes that setup. Right? Tiger's hunting, right? Same. Actually, all of these have animal. Hold on a second. That's great. Okay. Pent Up Calamity, right? If we were to play Pent Up plus Inflame plus Savage this turn, and then we receive the Absorb Essence, we take the Fire, that'll give us Pent Up Calamity Threshold and Savage Threshold and Inflame Threshold. That's pretty sweet. Being able to add tons of Strife is cool. I like it. Let's go for it. And I'm going to drop Gift of Proliferation. We've done enough acceleration for Snake. Now he's waking up, and we don't have to do anything now. It's in his hands. So Gift of Proliferation has definitely done its job. So we've got bada bing, bada boom, threshold everything. That does not provide the defense I was looking for, but we could use Pent Up to solve that. Using Pent Up to take care of one town, is it worth it? So that we can threshold everything? I would think so. Let's see, we added Strife, and then so that would add 3 Strife. That would completely solve this land. Just let that 1 blight. Is that worth it? It's got to be worth it. No, I'll just sacrifice the 1 presence, because we can always get it back. We're running out of presence anyways. Whoa! I gotta get the element first. What the heck am I doing? Alright, we'll take away you. Fire. Boom. Remove tokens. And that way we'll get the beast back. +1 damage when ravaging. Oh no! Add a disease to a jungle wetland. Right, let's protect ourselves. Click a land to remove blight from it. Yes! Is that on each board? Yeah. Sweet. Downgrade. Don't mind if I do. And there's no other target, so we'll just keep doing it. With the disease there, it protects us from a coast in the future. Explore or a town from an inland land. Okay. Well, that's going to blight. And then, yeah, that's going to be protected. So certainly we're going to want to remove that guy. But then otherwise, it's going to be 4. I'm going to remove this town. And then we can use an Elemental Aegis to defend both of these lands. So that'll be taken care of. Okay, down to 5 towns. And go there. So all that's left is sand and coast. So this land is guaranteed to hit on this next turn. All right, what do we got here for elements? We have our 2, 2, and 3. If we had 1 more grass, we'd be able to proliferate, but as is, we're only gaining an energy. Okay, we can do the 2 explorers, right? So we could solve that land. Does that have to be Target or adjacent land. Okay. Yeah, I'm inclined to just solve that land straight out. Okay, we can kill a town at range 0. Okay, we only have sacred sites over here, so that's so if I strife that. Oh, well, yeah. And then it only takes the 4 from Snake. So yeah, he has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, so now it's fully defended. We don't need to play 8 Absorb Essence again. And then we can, go 2 turns without having to play it. So we can fully wake up. And basically we can kill a town. So let's just... Oh. Maybe we wanted to do Savage Transformation here so that we don't need to worry about defense. Yeah, let me go back a few steps. I think Savage Transformation might have been better. We're going to go here and here. Okay, yep. Then kill off the town. Solves that. Okay. Having to not defend things and instead focusing on offense is a way that you can focus on winning as opposed to not losing. And we're late enough in the game, we're about to hit stage 3, we need to just win. Because once you hit stage 3, it becomes really easy to just randomly lose to the 7 towns. And that would just be a dreadful place to be. So kill a town, push a town. Just go right here. Reclaiming Pent Up. Pent Up certainly has the highest upside. And we'll just reclaim Gift. Okay, so now we're about to start just slinging majors. Oh, well, hey, Dominable Claim. How about that? So Trees Speak. Alright, so that's going to be fully defended. Now, I could Trees Speak this. It's not super high value, but it gets the job done. And we'll get rid of Call to Tend. We haven't reclaimed once this whole game. It's pretty sweet. By getting the acceleration, being able to get this reclaim 1 for free every turn has prevented us from having to worry about it. And now we just play the Grip. And if we add a single grass, we will be able to proliferate, which will tap us out in presence, so we actually won't be able to add another presence, but we could just like reclaim, gain a power card, and then be forced to play Absorb, but whatever, it's worth it. It's a problem of being too good, too far ahead. We'll be able to kill a city, push a town. Oh yeah, things are looking great for us. And we're what, 1 water, 2 grass away from hitting majors. It's a good problem. It's a good place to be. Right? We didn't take the moon, so we don't get the bounce on that. But I think going for the... Well, actually, hold on a second. Because we could always just reclaim and then add a presence and wind up in the exact same situation. But getting the double effect with land thrashes very well could be worth it. Hold on. How much blight is there even on the board? 1, 2. This card sucks. Huh. That card sucks. Whoops. Remove too much blight. Alright, well, that'll be the next one to forget. Okay, so the repeat is kind of worthless in that case. So yeah, let's just get our presence. That way we can reclaim and gain a major and forget Furious Pain. Maybe we should have kept the 7 damage major. Oh my gosh. Okay, 4 card plays. We have plenty of energy. Don't need to worry about going top track. Everything is defended. Just want to get ourselves set up for mountains. Let's just keep on hitting those majors. Pillar of Living Flame is going to be fantastic for us. Just because it'll completely solve one of these lands. And we can forget... I'm fine with forgetting Fields Choked. Yeah. Now we have no water. We can't do any defense at all. Huh. How about that? 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah, we're doing just fine. So, just make sure we have sacred sites all over the place. Give ourselves plenty of choices. So we could probably just use Pent Up Calamity right here. Deal a lot of damage, and then put the tokens right back. It's not bad. Anywhere else that provides us a lot of damage? Right here. Right? That's not bad either. It's a little bit better, because at least it's immediately relevant. Okay, just get ourselves kind of all over the board. Or actually, I'm fine without that. Let's just go for fear. Let's just focus on winning the game. No need to worry about just not losing. Let's just win. Okay, we're pretty close to hitting Terror level 3. 1, 2 cities left. So I'm going to target this land just so that way we can start knocking off the cities. Finish pushing. Sure, why not? Beast produce fear. That will not get us to Terror level 3. Got some free beast moves. Add a inland land with Dahan. It's there where we have less of them. This one doesn't really matter, but I guess we'll go there because it's relevant soon. Okay. We're not blighting anywhere, so we'll just remove this beast, prevent a build. And we can remove the town. Now we don't even need to worry about defending it because of the disease. Okay, that did it too. And we hit those coastals. Okay, yeah, so now, yeah, this mountains right here is going to need some loving. And yeah, there's really no blight, so we can kill a town, kill 2 explorers, and the 2 explorers is the better one to hit. And it's going to be hitting for 4, maybe 5 if it gets explored again, but that'll be taken care of by an elemental aegis, so let's just pick up a town. Explorer has an extra health anyways. There'll only be 1 explorer. That's dumb. Okay, kill a city. Range 0. Is there any other better spot besides that mountain? Does not appear so. Push that into here. And is that the last city? It is. So Pillar of Living Flame will win the game. No cities on the island. So this game played out pretty much exactly how I predicted, where in the early game we were kind of just making a big focus on not losing to the 7 buildings. But because the spirits were providing support to each other, they were both able to be way more powerful in the early game than they would be otherwise. Hitting the extra elemental thresholds, getting the presence out insanely fast. So it's a really fun pairing. I think this game is a bit easier because I was playing it one-handed or just by myself. If you're playing with someone, Almost every turn there was a lot of spirit to spirit communication and buffs, and that could lead to communication problems if you're playing with a friend. But these spirits are both very fun to play individually, very fun to play together. Slinging tons of majors, tons of fun. Wound up forgetting almost all of Green's innate starting cards, right? We only had one left. It's just fun pairing. Thanks for the recommendation.